Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this fine day of competition here at Ottawa Wesley Clover Parks for the Major League Show Jumping Ottawa 2 and 5-star CSIs this week. Starting our day a little bit late today due to the weather, but things are looking great here. The footing is terrific in the arena for our first class of the day. A meter 45 speed class to open our day today. Class sponsor is Cabana Coast. Cabana Coast is a complete line of modern and fashion-forward outdoor furniture designed for both commercial and residential use. The combination of style and quality of Cabana Coast outdoor furniture will easily help you transform any outdoor space into an oasis. Designed to withstand the elements, their premium furniture is built with great care, making it the perfect choice for any outdoor design project. Again, Cabana Coast, sponsors of today's speed test. In the CSI 5-star, set at a meter 45, a $9,000 purse in this class, sponsored by Cabana Coast. And again, it is a speed class. I want to thank Equestrian Digital for their partnership in presenting this week's live stream coverage. Equestrian Digital helps simplify, manage, and communicate everything at Major League Show Jumping to our viewers tuning in from home. Stay better informed with a streamlined experience from Equestrian Digital. President of the jury for the competition is Kathy Harper. She's joined by Jerry Koo from Hong Kong, Philippe Rozon from Bromo, and foreign judge Balu Arambide from Mexico. Gayle Dennis joining us as well down in the field for the boot check today with Kathy Harper. Guillermo Jorge, once again the course designer for these tournaments here in Ottawa. Great to have Guillermo back from Wellington by way of Brazil. Starting us over the frozen jump today in the center of the arena, the wings of that jump, the circles on the posts. From the movie Frozen, a vertical to start the competition. Across the ring to the black trellis. Heading straight to the hill, orange and black and white rails. An oxer. A left-hand turn rolling back to 3. The CP locomotives. A vertical to the Ottawa oxer. Big oxer at 4. Au numéro 4, c'est l'oxer de l'Ottawa. Le 5AB, 5AB along the back side is the lattice jumps with the round centers, the round holes in the middle, and the white and blue rails. Coming in over a vertical, out over an oxer. Rolling back again to the Cabana Coast sponsor jump. Jump number 6, numéro 6. Le saut de notre commanditaire, un oxer de Cabana Coast. Straight ahead to number 7, the Normandy World Equestrian Games logos on the wings and the orange rails. Au numéro 7. A left-hand turn to the Olympic coins, a copy of a jump from the Athens Olympics. Jump number 8, le numéro 8. Virage à gauche vers le 9AB, les fleurs rouges. Right in front of the Major League Show Jumping island beside the water. 9AB, the stylized red flowers on the wings, black, red, and white rails of the 8AB combination. A bending line to the dragon, number 10, le dragon, de 10. Et virage à gauche, a left-hand turn to the Major League Show Jumping signature fence at the end of the course. 74 seconds. Time allowed, but this is a speed class. 375 meters over this course. 11 obstacles, 13 jumping efforts. My name is Jeff Morgan. I'm up here in the judges' stand with Lauren Hunkin, who will be bringing you the color commentary here on what you see in the ring. Welcome, Lauren.
Very happy to be up here again with you, Jeff. Rain is holding on. Field looks in great shape. And very excited to watch this meter 45 speed class with all these fantastic riders and horses.
And we come to the 5-star now. You saw the 2-star class earlier in the week. The top riders around the world joining us here in Ottawa for this competition, the speed test. A $9,000 purse from our sponsors, Cabana Coast. And so just minutes away from our first on course today for the class. Again, a reminder that Equestrian Digital is providing live coverage on the live stream. If you have folks at home that would like to watch while you're here and watching it live, just call them up, tell them to go to the Ottawa Tournament's website, and get the link to watch the live stream from Equestrian Digital.
Set to get underway, the first at the gates. This is number 252, first in the order. Le 252 de Lausanne, Breitling LS. Easy match.
Well, a very good morning and welcome. In fact, we're just getting into the afternoon, a little later than planned. Unfortunately, a little bit of a downpour this morning. And, well, we're all ready to go now. And clouds overhead, but it is hopefully going to remain dry for the rest of the day. Fabulous arena here. Took all the rain there on this fabulous grass layout, and we are fit and ready to go. So who better to start with than BC Man? BC with Breitling LS. This is a one-round competition, the Cabana Coast Speed class. This has put $9,000 in the prize fund here. You're going to see 19 of those coming forward. A few combinations we didn't see yesterday as well, getting a spin in before the big classes over the next few days as well. 11 fences on the course. The last is the Major League fence over in front of the VIP hospitality. And in the meantime, a few twists and turns on the course designed by Guillaume Georges. And we are looking forward to what the Rio Olympic course designer has set out. Starting with a combination of one of the World Cup finals out yesterday, and I think probably just having a quiet spin today as well ahead of a big run over the next few days. And of course that Grand Prix on Sunday afternoon as well. Hannah Robson alongside me too to keep you up to date and in line and all the other things all the way through. Hannah, I mean, it is a wonderful combination to see. Have a fence there. They're not going to be too worried about that one today. But it's good to see BZ on the card, and she's been with us for the last few stages of Major League Jumping too.
She has, yeah. She's been jumping in a few of the five-star Grand Prix, and as you say, Breitling's such a fantastic partner for her for various championship and top-level competitions for a number of years. You mentioned the World Cup final at Paris as well, and then also, of course, the medals at the Pan American Games in Lima back in 2019 for this pair. But they've had some good runs in the five-star Grand Prix this year at Major League show jumping competitions. Of course, had a win in the five-star Grand Prix last year at Traverse City. Unfortunately, they didn't quite have the run that they wanted at Traverse City this year. There was quite an eye-catching oxer just at the end of the course. It was on a little bit of a sort of half-stride line, and it was coming back into the tents, and it really caught the eye of a lot of horses. So sadly, this pair were eliminated there. But so far this year, plenty of top 10s for them.
She's saving it for the Gold Cup there in a few weeks' time. BC Man there, quite a little run round with the 5:74.92 going first there for BC and Breitling LS. Keep an eye on them for Sunday. Of course, she's part of the team as well for the Crusaders. And draw last night. I say a draw. We don't really do a draw. We make them do a task. We made them play hockey last night. And we came up with the whole order there based on that. And in fact, the home team, the Show Plus Northern Lights, came out the best. And basically it was based on who hit the hockey ball, as it was in this case, the hardest. And it was measured on a speed gun. And yeah, they were well ahead of the rest. But, you know, the Canadians, hockey, it sort of goes together. We are on to the Irish, and they go very well together with horses, and especially out in the field here. Dara Kerins with Valentino Tullier for Dara as well, getting this combination back into action. Competed in Lexington back in May. Haven't had an outing really since then as well. Dara, who's been a super producer of horses, riding a number of horses for the Eve Jobs stable as well. And for them, back into March this year, going on to a nice Grand Prix win there. But again, they're just starting to get back into their stride here. So gives us our second take a spin round here. Again, not putting too much to the boards, but this got different pace on it, which is nice. But just had that 4 fault so far, Hannah.
Yeah, as you say, had that good 2-star Grand Prix win at Wellington back in March, and they've been going pretty well ever since then. They're jumping clear around about 50% of the time. And this is one that Dara's been riding since this year, jumped it at Wellington and at Lexington, as you say, but previously ridden by Eve Jobs. So a combination who are really beginning to get some nice results, getting more and more clears as the partnership progresses.
Yeah, one I saw in Europe previously with Mark Macaulay back in 2019, finishing on just the 4:69.67. So previous Irish rider in the saddle before going on to, and is still owned by Eve. Eve, of course, is a very successful rider herself, having been a medalist at the Pan Am Games last time around too. There we go. On the 4th, Dara Kerins, Valentino Tullier. So going to be 19 that we see in this class. 2 classes to bring you today. We're going to be back later on into the afternoon with $74,000 on the table there. We've gone quite up in the prize money stakes with the Sanitton Plastic class. It's going to be a 150 jump-off class as well. Looking forward to that. And a very good lineup, as you'd expect, for that class. That's going to be later on this afternoon, aimed at 3 o'clock is the aim for that one. Darren Dlin is going to be up next with ODL VDM. And for him, on to that team for the Show Plus Northern Lights, and was in fine hockey mode last night as well. He was, I don't like to say whether it was Sean Jobin or he who got the fastest or the hardest of the balls, as it was put, but either way, they got into leading position. But again, bringing out the next to the Canadian riders for him onto the home team here, so we'll potentially see him into the teams later on this week.
Yeah, we'll be getting the team lineups pretty soon, and as you say, only right that the home team won that draw competition, but Darren, very experienced competitor himself, and certainly would be a great rider for the teams, also with this horse as well. It's a relatively recent ride for him, one that he's had for a couple of months now. It was formerly ridden by Sergio Alvarez Moya of Spain. This is this horse's first 5-star competition, so it's stepping up to this 5-star level. They had a really good round in the 2-star 2-phase competition at Traverse City, that of course being the second leg of the season for Major League Show Jumping. They had one down in the second phase, but jumped a clear in the first phase. Just a little way down the rankings, but as I say, just the 1 fence down across the 2 phases. The horse performed really well as a young horse as well a couple of years ago during those 8-year-old and young horse classes with Sergio Alvarez Moya. But an experienced rider now bringing ODL VDM up to the 5-star level.
Yeah. The Welsh Dragon, and then finally to the last two, the Major League fence on the 1 fence stand so far. Time allowed is 74, just to highlight that. Not that that's a big player too much into this class. 66.91, just that 1 fence stand for a nice new developing combination for Darren Dlin of Canada. On the H-roll there by Demortisemi, unfortunately having the coins down. That fence is a replica of that used in Athens back in 2004 for the Olympic Games. Those that remember back then. I think there's another copy version or original version up at Spruce Meadows as well. And she'll have jumped it many times in Erin Ballard, who goes next. In fact, bouncing but hot foot back from the World Championships as well, where she's competing for the Canadian squad with Gakia. Gone into the top 10 of the teams there. And nice little turn up back to the CP fence. But again, for this combination, Castor Dem, I think fairly new one for her.
Yeah, this is the second international show for them as a pair, after jumping at Akala in July of this year. They've only jumped 4 rounds together so far, but half of that time they've jumped clear. So as you say, they're just really getting to know each other, really cementing their partnership, and certainly going well so far. The horse was previously ridden by Cédric Hurel of France, right the way up to 4-star level. In July, Erin jumped this to a double clear in a 4th and a 3-star 2-phase.
Well, a little bit of discussion at that fence, but we're going to come back to it. As you say, very new partnership indeed. Sometimes still a little to come with the communication there, and not keen on going down there at all. So that one we'll come back to at a later date, because the bell will go, unfortunately, for elimination there for Erin Ballard and Castor Dem, the 10-year-old by Ready Boy de Forêt on the French-bred ride. Going back to Richebourg. So unfortunately, early exit for Erin. We've got quite a Canadian flavour, because we're going Jacqueline Stephens now. And Funk, yeah, in fact, yes, we are. Younger horse for her, again for the Eye Candy team. And the H-Roll Hanoverian, owned by the Eye Candy squad, by Messenger. And so in yesterday's warm-up, again, some good chances to get the horses in the rings with a little bit of less experience, and again into a lovely big grass arena like this is as well. Jacqueline with, it was a good run in Traverse City as well, but this as we said is a new one for her, but I think she's jumped a couple of shows with this now.
Yeah, she has. As you say, it's relatively new, and it's also a relatively young horse. It's one that Jacqueline and Erica of Eye Candy are extremely excited about. It's got so much potential, this horse. They've only been jumping at Calgary in June and July of this year. Jumped a good few clears there. Also, she had that great win with at Traverse City was Cat Ninja. But great for her to have this younger up-and-coming horse as well. Ooh, just a little bit of a loss of balance, a bit of a slip on the grass there.
Say rain this morning, but the ground has held up very, very well indeed. Was really good to walk across that and see it. Ready straight to go back to jumping with a little bit of a break this morning, just a slightly later start in the class. A well-managed surface. Again, just good opportunity for this young horse here to get used to this grass arena as well. Nicely through the double. Again, just a little bit on the angle there to 10 as Skis laid it out, and then gives them a good run down to the last. Just getting into a nice rhythm down to the last fence. Finishing with a couple of time faults in there as well, of course, with that stop. 75.38. So 6 there for Jacqueline Stephens and Funkier, but one I think we'll see a lot more of is still in the early blossoming of their international career. Jacqueline could well be a part of that Eye Candy team here once again. See which direction those teams making their final decisions after last night's draw, where they're going, who's playing a part. They'll have had a very good idea, and we will then head on in a second to Amy Miller. As you can see, not the brightest of days, but it's now dry. Underfoot is good. Those are the key factors. We're in for a sunny few days, I think, over the next couple, 2-3 days that we've got left. What day is it today? Wednesday. To take us into the next few days of competition. Yeah, in fact, it's Friday. I knew it was. So we're looking forward to a big weekend ahead. Say team class here on Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday that Grand Prix as well. So a little hiatus before our next, which is going to be Connor Swale, I think. Number 4 with Theo 160. Another combination that jumped yesterday, so a couple taking the opportunity to get 2 good classes behind them and 2 good trips around the arena before going on to the likes of that big jump-off class we've got later on this Friday afternoon. Tomorrow is all about teams. Sunday then winning rounds and the Grand Prix as well.
rider in the order to warm up.
I think we might be having a little change around. Not sure whether it's coming now or a little bit later, but rider on the horizon is not Connor Swale. So that looks like it's going to be Amy Miller, I think, by the look over there with Cristiano. Yes, it is. And Amy Miller, again, also like Erin Ballard, just back from those World Championships as well. Miller family, of course, legendary in this part of the world, but also across the world too. Cristiano, been riding for a little while now. Has had a good couple of seasons with this horse.
Yeah, she has. It's one that she rode to a really nice win at Toronto. She had I think it was a first and a fifth in the competition there in the opening class, but one that, of course, was developed by her father for a little while. Been riding this for just over 2 years now. One that
Sit easy, as they say, and then just gather it back, and then as a pro keep working towards the next fence. So just gather things back again, take a breath, and now come back to the CP vertical, pop over that with no problem at all, and then carry on. Keep the horse's confidence on this 12-year-old by Canoso, German-bred horse.
But yeah, this is a horse that she had as a bit of a second one to Truman for a while, but now certainly with a lot of the competitions she's been doing, and as I say, with that 5-star win at Toronto, she's really stepping the horse up to the top level and now has both of them quite solidified at the top 5-star level. Interesting to see who she picks for the Grand Prix.
Yeah, Truman, of course, her horse at the World Championships a couple of weeks ago. Now very much back in their stride and looking for a nice strong finish here. It's going to pick up a little bit of time on the way, and again, it's not the class they're going to worry about too much, really. Just getting them a good outing. Just had the blip in the middle, but key part is get things back on track. Take a little look here, and unfortunately launches off early. Amy didn't look too worried there, sat to it, and then just kept a good confident finish. Natalie Dean. .com for the Marigold Sport Horses of California. 9-year-old French-bred horse from de Montesemi, out of Twin Set d'Auteuil, which was back to the lines of Kidam de Revel. And again, for this combination, it's been last couple of seasons coming up for her. Of course, she's also been on duty previously for the US through to those Nations Cup teams as well. And she's giving this a spin.
Yeah, this is one that she's had since early 2021. And she won the 2-star Grand Prix at Traverse City with this horse. Fantastic performance there. She also was 6th in an under-25 Grand Prix at Wellington back in March. Just one down in the jump-off in that performance. But she's been in the top 10 14 times with this horse.
Yeah. Very good, consistent combination. She's on a different pace to the rest. And just gives a tap to the back of that Athens Oxer. And then gets a nice turn away from there. Gives you a good spin out toward a fairly reasonably tight line up to that Major League fence, and we'll go into the lead at 59.09. So it certainly gives them something to think about on the 9-year-old.com to 3 for Natalie Dean to lead the way so far in this Cabana Coast one-rounder in this afternoon. So under the 60 seconds, faster than the minute, smiles aplenty, and into the lead at this point. Natalie Dean heading on out, and we'll go on to Alexis Sokolov now with Calciet EBZ from Hot Horses LLC, the 9-year-old mare by Kornita Bolensky. So out of bronze, LVPZ, which is all lines of Berlin. And Alexis's first year as well, coming into these big classes as part of Major League show jumping. But again, you know, it's lovely to see a mix. We've got some well-experienced veteran riders like Beezy Band that have been there at those major big championships. Daniel Blumen with us this week. We've got the world number 4 Connor Swale, and then a whole host of those young horses and young riders coming through as well. Gives a great base for Alexis Sokolov. Give us a little bit of background.
This is one that she hasn't had for too long, but this horse has got a very impressive CV with some other riders. This is Alexis's second international show with this horse. The first was at Traverse City. And as I say, one that she's had just for a couple of months. It was previously competed by Connor Swale, Gregory Wathelet and Cindy van der Straten. She had a good two-phase, two-star double clear at Traverse City with this horse. But as you say, Alexis herself has really been getting the miles in and really getting up to the top level. Jumped around Europe a few months ago at Dinard, Valkenswaard and at Knocker-Hippeek. Her other very good horse is Fasole du Seigneur, and that's the one with whom she was second in a 5-star two-phase at the Major League show at Vancouver. So she herself been going better and better too.
Well, leaves her just on the 4 at 70.66. 4 there for Alexis Sokolov, and the 9-year-old Calciet EBZ. Here, that one fence down coming at the CP fence, just catching that with the front legs. Conor Reagan and Manchester. Again on a new ride for him, this 10-year-old Belgian-bred horse by Kidam the Revel. Good to see him with some new firepower in there too. Got a few nice horses that he's brought through, and again has been mainly relying on Medini DR for the Dynamite Ranch, and now getting this one to go alongside, comes alongside of Codex. But for them, I think this is very early days.
Yeah, this is their second show together. The first was Toronto last week. Didn't have any sort of particular rounds to pull out, you know, a fence down here, a fence down there, but certainly a lot of good educational rounds. This is a former ride of Marie Demont of France, and this horse was actually very successful with her. Had an 8th place in a 5-star speed class with Marie. That was in only April of this year, and also won a 5-star jump-off class with Marie in Saint-Tropez in June of last year. So a horse that's been really pretty successful to the 5-star level, and Connor now just in this second show with this horse.
To that double just to give the horse the confidence going through there, just making very sure that's where they're heading on the 8 at the moment. And they will finish on that, so early days for them. 62.03. Finished up in the money yesterday, Connor. Just a little close to the Cabana coast fence, just sees them drop a rail there, 1 of 2 on course. Mown out, perfect stripes across the arena, exactly as you want your lawn to look, but doesn't. Susan Horn of Canada for the Kingsfield Farm of Ontario. And Susan with Curlew van den Bostrand, this 12-year-old bicard Enso. And again, she seems to have picked up well with this former rider, British rider Sam Hutt.
Yeah, there are a good few combinations in this class who, as you say, haven't been together for too long. This one is one that Susan's had since June, but it's been very successful for her and very consistent so far. She's been in the top 10 7 times out of 9 competitions with this horse, so actually 9 competitions since June is quite good going, and 7 times in the top 10. She had 2 wins at 2-star level in Calgary in July, and was 10th in a 2-star Grand Prix at Caledon also in July. Just had 1 fence down there.
Yeah, the likes of Spruce Meadows giving them a very good opportunity to get some ring time in there for this pairing As I say, they've been coming together this year. Sam Hutton, having ridden this horse to wins into the early part of the year in Wellington, Florida, gets off the double there with a nice quick move away, coming in with confidence so far. Remember, leading score is Natalie Dean and .com Lidwi on 59.09 at this point. Again, of course, lovely flowing course, giving them a great opportunity to just really get into a nice rhythm around this track. Takes a little bit of a standoff at the first part and sees that back bar going down. And then head to the finish. Not going to be too far away for time, just a little bit steadier coming to that last fence. They having had a fence down, didn't go chasing quite. 61.49, and we'll just see them on the 4. We'll still see them into second place, in fact, at the moment, as the quickest of the 4s. Only one combination having gone clear at this stage with Natalie Dean and .com. Still the one to lead the pack at the moment at 59.09, but yes, just a little bit of a distance catch out at the Oxford. Jordan Coyle and Arisso for the Land Farm, the 11-year-old by Kersal. And yes, interested to see this combination back, because of course there were Grand Prix winners with us previously on Major League Jumping, including in California, to Vancouver, of course, where he won the Grand Prix there as well. And I think this might, we didn't see them jump yesterday, so I think this will probably just be a quite educational round to get them going for the week.
Yeah, had a very good look at the first fence there at the early fences. But as you say, you know, this horse has absolutely proven that it can be a 5-star Grand Prix winner at the Major League shows at Vancouver and at Thermal last year. They also didn't go too badly in the 5-star Grand Prix at Traverse City. They had 2 fences down, but ended up 14th because I think we've touched on earlier, it was an extremely tricky course, and so just to have 2 down from finishing about in the middle of the field was a quite good performance. But this horse performs particularly well in speed classes, very, very good against the clock, and Jordan just taking a little bit of a steadier approach here, as you say, obviously saving this horse for some of the bigger classes later in the week.
Yeah, it's been quite economical on his turn so far as well, to keep himself in with a little bit of money too, so he's going to be not far off. He actually might go in, I was going to say might go to second if he leaves the last up. That goes down 65.56. They're just going to put them on the 4 then. It does still go into third place at this early stage. That last fence there catching them up on the upswing, and down it comes. So into third, but again, early on he just got some nice, just tight moves away from a few fences, just to get himself a little bit of prize money in there in this $9,000 class. Dara Kerins comes back with a second ride now, and Lycina for Dara, again for Eve Jobs. The 11-year-old Holsteiner by Limbus. Back to the Jamboree of Cassini once again. Again, this has been a partnership that have been stepping up for the last season or so. 11 years of age now, and ready to go with the Irishman. Yeah,
the horse has had a little bit of a break in international competition. This is its first show of 2022 internationally. They were jumping well at the end of last year, though. Had a very good performance in the Nations Cup at Calgary in September of last year. Also jumped in the 3-star Grand Prix at Traverse City back in July last year. They were 8th, just had the 1 fence down, but nice to see them back at this level and back coming to the international competitions. Dara, as you say, with the 2 rides here. Valentino Tullier, again a relatively new ride for him, and he's really now taking the time to bring this horse confidently back to this level following that break.
Just hacking for home on the 4 faults at the moment. Should just squeeze inside the time. Yeah, 73.32 is going to leave them on the 4 there for Dara Kerins. And Lycina goes into 7th place at the moment. Of course, he was already in some money with his earlier ride of Valentino Tullier in top 5 at the moment. The Athens fence just coming down again, the coins.
And there's bell for Lopez T. Number following next.
Will move us on to Hunter Holloway this time. Lopez T. Lopez T, a 9-year-old for the HJS Trading from, well, this mare by Lord Pezzi Jr. out of Lodanos mare, which was Langali. And Hunter, good to see her with, again, an expanding of the string. We've seen her with Pepita Conspita, which she rode at the World Cup finals this year as well. But again, has given her a little bit more firepower coming into these major league shows.
Quite a good string of horses now for Hunter. As you say, Pepita Conspita absolutely up there, as is Dana de Kerglen. Eastern Jam, who we saw yesterday, also a fantastic ride for her. But Lopez is one who is a little bit newer. Toronto last week was her second show with this horse, so this being their third international show together. It had just one down in a 3-star speed class at Traverse City in July. And again, just 1 or 2 fences down at Toronto. Just again getting the educational rounds, and quite a difference to go from that relatively small sand arena now to this pretty large grass arena with this horse. But it's great for Hunter as a young rider to be having so many horses at a really good level in her string. She's 21st in the FEI jumping under 25 rankings at the moment.
And unfortunately, last fence going down 70.07. Otherwise, would have put her into second place. Still just one clear, leading the way with Natalie Dean and .com. Just on the 4, 70.07 puts her a little further down into 6th place for Crusaders rider Hunter Holloway and Lopez T. Just around 5 left to go. One Ortiz now, and Toulouse Z for the Blue Trim LLC, the 11-year-old mare by Toulon, and won yesterday with his big jumping Kinky Boy, Van Head Gildenhoff, and today with Toulouse to take a spin around here. And again, for him, I don't think it's been partnership that's been too long.
No, it isn't, and it's a less experienced horse, and one that Juan was saying that, you know, particularly in Traverse City, he chose that horse for the team competition, one that was not necessarily the most experienced, but certainly he thinks it's got so much potential, and he really is taking it up to the top levels just to get the miles on the clock. And he's also not over jumping the horses this week because he feels that these two are better, a little bit fresher. This is one that was previously with Delaney Flynn of the USA and Jana Vargas of Germany. Again, it'd be interesting to see what Juan decides to do for the team competition, because up to now he's gone for Toulouse for the teams and Kinky Boy for the Grand Prix, but could see that change.
We'll see. I'm going to lay money the other way, but it is on the 8 at the moment for Juan Ortiz, and unfortunately they lose another fence at the last, so it's kind of going to put them on 12 there at 64.80. Last fence just catching a couple as well. Just a little bump into that final one, and out it drops over those little shallow cups into 13th place. Looks like we've actually just got 3 left to go. Alberto Michan and Firewall, 12-year-old Dutch-bred mare by Lexicon that was just flying around to win classes left, right and centre in Traverse City a few weeks ago. How have they been getting on since?
Yeah, good. You know, he was in Toronto, didn't particularly compete this horse too much there.
Keep the powder dry.
Yes, exactly.
Turns up nicely to the CP fence, just a little touch there.
But as you say, the horse has been getting more and more consistent. He's been in the top 10 8 times this year alone, with Alberto 5 times on the podium. And Alberto, again, doing really well in some of the speed classes as well. He's certainly a really fast rider.
He is well experienced rider, including Olympic Games, of course. He was up there, top 20 before now. He is a hugely experienced rider. Now with a base over on the west coast. So for Abi Michan riding for Israel internationally. Just a little steadier into there, has just hustled through to that second part. Smoother run to the next, and this is not going to be too far away if he leaves it up. He'll be into second. He's not going to be quite as quick as Natalie Dean that leads, but another one that just cuts up the last fence and has it down. Just flattens off over it and unfortunately leaves them at 63.97 And so on the 4 goes into 3rd place for Alberto Misha. And Firewall there, getting very close once again. Little look here, and just a little hard to see around that pillar, but there we go. It goes down, regardless of what we say. Unfortunately, it is just the 4 faults. Lacey Gilbertson by Smale for the Sweet Oak Farm, the 11-year-old by Iowa. Out of Matahari Spanker Parker for the French bred ride for Lacey Gilbertson on the Spy Coast Spies team here this week.
Yeah, she jumped really well for the Spy Coast Spies at Toronto, jumped a nice clear round. Unfortunately, the team finished in 8th place, so she didn't get the opportunity to go through to the next round, but she's been jumping very well for the team up to this point. Jumped with her other horse, Carlin van der Vennehoff, for a double clear in Vancouver and a 4 and a clear in Traverse City with that horse. But Byzance Mail, also one of her very top rides. She won a speed class in Toronto with this horse, so comes here quite fresh from that good win.
Absolutely, and is certainly going to give this one a go as well. Good move up to the water tray, and then just this double. Just got to be careful, that first vertical keeps a nice tucked up line to the right hand side there, and again gets away, get off the arena side, gets quickly towards the Cabana coast fence. Defense just gives them a little chance to have that down. She's not drawn into it, but she is drawn into that one. A few have had that just coming off the end gate there as they just keep moving, and it just casually takes off a rail as they go. So on the 4, it's still a good time, still in for some prize money, and unfortunately she just tries to keep that pace up there, just drags off that second fence on the course. Time was going to be good, it would have gone into 2nd place, but a couple of rails will say otherwise, I'm afraid. 62.39, in fact would have gone into 3rd with just the 1 rail down. And another to fall victim of the coins just to come around that corner. And 8 on the scoreboard. Daniel Blumen, Kashmir de Braise will be the last out. 3 owners for this horse, including the over-the-top stables. 10-year-old by Quality Touch, the French big rise for Daniel, and for the Israeli rider, who had a very, very good run at Angelstone.
Yeah, he did. He was the winner of the 5-star Grand Prix. That was with Gemma W, but for a lot of the week it was quite a battle between Daniel and Kent Farrington for some of the top spots. Kent just pipping him in a couple of competitions, but Daniel taking that big win. Kashmir de Braise also a great ride for him. As you say, this is a 10-year-old now, but getting pretty established up at this level, and due in part to the fact that Daniel's ridden this horse quite extensively on the team competitions last year. It's not one that he's piloted to the teams too much in 2022, but he rode this 4 times for the Trailblazers in 2021. He's also jumped this horse in 4- and 5-star competitions at places like Le Ball, Royal Windsor Horse Show, and in Wellington. So quite a lot of very good competitions under their belt. And as I say, really quite established now at this level. Again, we're still waiting for the team lineups, but
Daniel could get a nice place here if he leaves this last fence up. There we will go into 2nd place on 65.63. 2nd spot for Daniel Blumen as he makes his first appearance of the week here with Kashmir de Braise, a former 4-star Grand Prix winner in Traverse City, and will complete this Cabana co-sponsor class. Natalie Dean going to be our winner with a .com and 2nd place there is the last to go. Daniel Blumen has a good move around there. 65.63, not under too much pressure for time as 4 faults comes into play after that, with Susan Horn in 3rd with Curler van der Bostrand, 4th to Alberto Misha and Firewall, and top 5 sees Jordan Coyle and Ariso to complete the lineup of those. There you go, here's the confirmation. Natalie Dean, good one for the Lugano team. and sees Natalie ahead, gets under the 60 seconds, leaves the rest in her wake. A couple of those getting close to her, Susan Horn, but with a fence down, and Daniel Bloom in there cruising round to a second spot in the end in today's 145 Cabana co-sponsored class. We are back a little later on with our jump-off class coming up for you. Going to look forward to that. 3 o'clock is the time that will stay as is for the upcoming jump-off class, and $74,000 in the prize fund there. We're going to see them battling it out for that. Hannah and I will be back a little later. We'll see you then. In the meantime, enjoy. We're going to take a little step back and see you in what? A couple of hours. Yeah, see you then.
Present the awards to the top 3. We'll be returning to the arena momentarily.